Today we're gonna review two of the most popular AI copywriting tools in the market, Copysmith versus CopyAI. I'm gonna take you through each tool one by one and give you a breakdown or like a comparison, on content quality, features, ease of use, and pricing, and just help you make a decision if you should buy Copysmith or CopyAI. All right. Um, let's first kind of get to Copysmith, right? So when you log in to Copysmith, you basically see this dashboard, right? And they have these sections in here to specifically kind of take you through, like, if you want to create bulk content or if you want to integrate with a certain app, I'll take you through all of that, right? So let's first try something simple, right? Like, let's say, for example, you want to create a LinkedIn post, right? So I'm just going to kind of type in here. All right, so now they have a LinkedIn ad text. So I'm just going to take this, for example, and create something using one of their tools. All right, so I create this as LinkedIn post example. Actually, this is a LinkedIn ad example, and I'm going to put this in a test project, right? One of the things that I like about Copysmith so far has just been that it's actually built for like doing things in an organized way, especially when you have multiple team members. So it has a lot of collaboration features, which you will see, as like for example, if you see here, right, there's an assign to status, right? So if you have more, um, if you have more users, you can basically assign a certain piece to somebody, right? So it's meant to be used by teams. Um, Now let's say, for example, I'm gonna try to create, an ad, right? So my company's name is Early Stage Marketing. I am going to use, the product description that I'm going to use is early stage marketing is a SaaS marketing agency that helps um, them help SaaS companies grow with their SEO and content. Okay, that's it, right? So they also kind of give you like what is a great description, what is not, which I kind of like, right? And I can also add certain keywords. I don't think I have any keywords, so let's just kind of stick with this. And let's see here, what does the settings show us? Oh, okay, interesting. It also has like a plagiarism checker and stuff, but I'm not sure what's up with the settings, but like, let's just click on generate. And within 15 seconds, we should have good copy. Like I've heard some good reviews about Copysmith, um, and they use the same tech as most of these AI copywriting tools. They use GPT-3. All right. So now we have all of these versions, right? I write to ramp up your conversions and grow your business with SEO and content marketing. This is actually pretty good. Um, do you know how to grow your SaaS business? We'll show you how. Try us now to learn more about a proven SEO and content services, how they can help grow your revenue. I think the content quality is actually pretty good, right? Um, and let's say, for example, I want to take what are these options, right? So you can copy, you can rewrite this copy. That's interesting. You can give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down to train the AI. You can, I don't know what this is. And then you've got plagiarism check, which is pretty helpful to be honest, especially with AI content being there's always a risk for plagiarism. You can create it into a campaign, which is kind of what I was saying, like the collaboration features. You can publish it and you can delete this generation. So if I click on publish what? Okay. So I can publish it to Zapier or Google Docs. And I know that Zapier integrates with LinkedIn ads, so perhaps something to do, right? Let me actually try rewriting this, right? So let's say, for example, I click on rewriting this. how would this work? Like overall, I think, I mean, so far the interface is quite no nonsense. Like it's pretty easy to get, understand, right? So, are you in need for more leads for your business? We specialize in boosting landing pages, driving up signups. It's secure. I think it's pretty good. Like, so this is great, right? And I'm gonna take this copy, right? And this is the one that I'm going to use, right? So anyway, like this was just a quick preview, right? You can also select a status for it. You can download this copy as a CSV, right? And then you can also check character count and word count, which is what I think it was showing here somewhere. Anyway, so this is in a simple way how a simple content generation works in Copysmith. Now let's kind of get into more advanced features in here, right? So I'm going to kind of exit this, and now what I'm going to do is I'm in their new editor experience. So they had like a bit of a UI overhaul. And so I'm going to try to create like a custom copy, right? So when I click on create new in here, it shows me three things. It shows me a use case editor, which is kind of like the old editor that they had at Copysmith. You've got a bulk copy editor, which allows you to create a lot of content at scale in one go. And there's like the regular editor, right? So let me kind of take you through each of them real quick, right? So you've got use case. So, within here you can, select blog outline. I want to see actually what they have within blog, like in terms of long form content. So they've got content expander, blog outline, blog Kickstarter, blog intro, blog ideas. So as a step, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try, I want to try to see how it kickstarts the blog. Right, so I'm going to click on blog Kickstarters. Okay. Okay. I am gonna put this in an uncategorized, like I'm not gonna put it in the folder, and I'm just gonna click on generate Kickstarter. What do I want to write about? I'll write about Copysmith versus Copy AI. Okay, I'm gonna add a test to understand which one is better. I think it should be good enough. Okay. So this has started something. So Copysmith and CopyAI are both companies offer AI-powered content. In this purpose, we'll be comparing these two companies by looking at different tests. Tests will understand its best services. Not bad. Can AI also write copy? They both have their fans and detractors. I mean, it's decent, but I think like of course there's the outdated information like content writing services. While we're in the world, right? So I'm gonna take. It says select only one idea to move forward to explore more options. I'm gonna take this one and click on generate. Oh, sorry. I'm gonna click on this. I think if I click on generate more, it'll create more copies of it. Let me just kind of go on with the continue. How it converts the start into like a Kickstarter. Okay. What it does is interesting. So you choose an idea, you can create an outline. So test one, focus on quality, variety of topics. Can I not edit this? I don't think I can. Pages and checker. I mean, it's good, but what I would have loved is for it to we edit it, I'm going to just click on this and click on continue just to understand how this blog Kickstarter works. Your word count seems too low to generate this type of content. Okay. Yeah, I think this is, yeah, I kind of get the idea how, like, you'll create an outline and it'll kickstart your blog. I think the number of credits that you get in a trial plan is too less. Um, so I don't think I can kind of create this, but like, this is basically the workflow of how to kind of create a blog, right? Now, let me show you the editor experience as well, because I think that's worth highlighting in here. The blog post wizard, I think it's not so great for long form content, but I think with the editor experience, they're trying to fix that. So let's kind of have a look at the editor experience. Um, so the editor experience is kind of more like a freestyle editor where you can create different kinds of copy. Um, and I think one of the things that at least when I observed that I did not like was that there's a lot. I mean, there's very little room to, I guess, like create more stuff. Like, you know what? Let's just kind of try it out. Like, let me kind of show you in here, right? So, I'm going to use the command copy, but they have other options like rewrite, enhance, extend. You've got, certain, blog posts and social media caption and Instagram ads. And then you can't really choose a tone, which sucks, right? Because sometimes a blog copy, a tone can be like super helpful, right? So I'm gonna, let's say, ask it to write a blog post title comparing Copysmith versus CopyAI, two of the most popular AI copy tools. Yeah. I'm gonna click on ideal. Like, I don't know what the others will give. I'm gonna choose English, command copy. Let's see what it generates. Find out which AI copywriting tool is right for you. Nah, I'm not so happy. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click on improve writing. Let's see what that. Let's rewrite this. Okay. Here's a temporary blip. Let's try again. Rewrite. And then let's see what it comes out with. This is taking too long. Anyway, my point is you can basically, it's like a full editor where you can add images and headings and all of that, and checklists, and basically write your own articles. For example, today review Copysmith versus Copy AI. And then, if you want, you can rewrite it, enhance it, extend it, do all sorts of things, add an image. Oh, okay. So shortcuts don't work here apparently. So I'm going to click on this, add, particular image, do that. So this is kind of like their way of allowing long form content, right? And what I really liked in here was that you can, if you click here, you can actually publish it directly to Google Docs or to WordPress through Zapier or any of your content management platform, or you can export this out. into, again, a Microsoft Word document, a PDF doc, or you can share it with team members, which is kind of the collaborative features that I was talking about. The second thing you can do is you can SEO optimize your content, right? So let's say, for example, I want to optimize it for Copysmith. So let's go. I'm curious how this works. And there's a lot of unnecessary loading time that I've just noticed within Copysmith. Okay, all right. So it optimized Copysmith. It suggests I add these keywords. I think it's useful, but I'm not entirely sure how useful this is, right? Like, if I click on content, okay. So if I add, I don't know, more content in here, unlimited content generation, amazing content on, it keeps improving my SEO optimization score, which is useful. I admit. So yeah, they've got SEO optimization again, more for long form, and then you've got an art studio that allows you to, well, create these awesome illustrations for your blog post. So I think the overall tool with like these three tools within that, I think makes for a pretty decent copywriting experience. Um, and let's say I want to discard this, right? Now, what I want to try, the last thing that I want to try here is their bulk copy generator, right? So I'm going to click on bulk copy. Now, let's say I want to create, I don't know, 5 Google ads. Okay. I'm going to click on this. I'm going to create Google ads for ESM project, uncategorized, automatically download results. Okay. So what do I have? So from input to output language. Oh wow, this is awesome, right? Like, so for example, if you're running ads for a non-English country, you can basically write it in English and then it'll convert it into the language, the non-English speaking country, and add those, right? Like, um, which is pretty amazing. Like, I love this. Um, so let's say, for example, let's click on export voice. Let's say if we want her to talk from a technology perspective, keep the creative, but this much. Bulk copy accepts a CSV file based on an example file found within the applicant. Please provide. Or, okay, interesting. So you can basically add like a list of CSVs, then you add it in there, and then it'll automatically create from that CSV file like your ad ideas, right? I don't think I need to explain that, but I think I kind of get what it does, right? So I think that's basically the bulk content generation. I kind of understand that. Now you've got a couple of simple things in here. You've got, team features where you can add your team members. You've got add-ons. So this is actually pretty interesting because not only do they have their own add-on, so they've got an add-on for image creation, which is the art studio. They've got integration, so they've got 6, 7 apps, Google Ads, Google Docs, Zapier, Phrase, Shopify. They've got their own apps, which is pretty amazing, right? They've got a Chrome extension app, they've got a Google Docs app, they've got a Microsoft Word app, WooCommerce, Hootsuite, and they've got their own API, which is pretty good. And this is the probably one of the coolest things about Copysmith. They've got, you know, like a community that shares their own prompts that are working pretty well, right? So for example, I want to search for a prompt for LinkedIn. Let's see what. Okay, not that big of a template library. Um, Let's take, for example, Twitter bio. Right? Like maybe it might be interesting, right? Save to my account. That's fine. So I guess like you can use other people's prompts to kind of create more content, or you can even create your own custom content, right? Let me try to create something, right? Twitter bio. I click on create. Um, okay, I'm in SaaS marketing. My hobby is, oh man, uh, touching into a sensitive topic. Listen to new music, accomplishment, and stuff. Go on 5 million revenue in 4 years. Yeah, and then let's click on generate. Let's see what it does. Okay, interesting. And while it's doing that, what we'll also do is what I want to see is how good is it at checking for plagiarism. We'll check that in a bit. All right. So I'm a SaaS marketer with an ear for new music and uncanny ability to turn 200K in 4 years. I mean, I don't know. I'm a SaaS marketer who loves listening to new music and just help stuff increase the revenue 5x. I'm not crushing it at work. You can find me popping my head to new beats. It's it's nice. Doesn't make sense though. I'm a SaaS marketer with an ear for music and a knack for making money. I recently took HubSpot. Now I'm ready to take the world best on. I mean, I get it, but I'm still like, I can't use this. But I think it's good. What I like about Copysmith is that most of the copy, like, it is understandable. I don't think there's any grammatical errors or as such. I think it's just the way you use Copysmith is, I think, is what that matters. So what I want to do is I'm going to check for plagiarism. Let's see how that works and see if how no matches found for 41 words. That's excellent. Now, what I'm also going to do is I'm going to take this and see how it detects AI. Like, I mean, so I use this tool called Originality AI, which is great to check for plagiarism as well as AI. I'm going to check for AI because we've already checked for plagiarism. And is this two less words? I am going to click this as well. Copy, put this in here. Okay. Now we have two. Let's see how it ranks, how it scores for AI. Okay, so it passed the originality AI test and it's 100% original. Again, the text was too less. You know, if let's say we take big blog post, perhaps the score might be different. But I think so far I'm pretty impressed, right? So to sum it up, like what are kind of like the I'd say like the pros of Copysmith, right? I think Copysmith has been built for teams in mind. So there's a lot of great collaboration features. Okay. There's, a lot of, features for like approvals and, create bulk content generation. It all, it can also kind of basically hook it up into any of your existing app workflows, right? With all of their integrations and add-ons. I think from that perspective, it's super great, right? Now, and I think in terms of even the output quality, I think it's pretty good. I think the thing that I felt it was lacking a little bit on was I think first is that there's less. I think they still don't fully get the long form content bit. I think having an editor and everything, I think it's great. It's a step in the right direction. But for example, I love to use my own certain kind of voice in my prompts or a tone that allows me to generate the output in the kind of style I want, right? Or I have certain ways of creating certain blog posts. For example, for a software comparison post, I have like these certain sections and I have these certain prompts with AI. And I felt it was difficult to use it for those kind of purposes. It's great for like short form content. And you could see, all of most of the tools are kind of built for that. But I think for long form content, it needs to catch up. But it gets brownie points for plagiarism checker, content optimization tool, and bunch of all of these other tools, right? And I think it was fairly easy to use. There's a bunch of things in here, right? So I mean, like for an average user, it might take some time to kind of get used to, but I don't think it's too complex, right? Now, I think these are kind of like the pros and cons in terms of how much Copysmith costs. I think that's where things get a little, something to be aware about, right? So it's not the pricing, but like the way they charge, for their pricing. So they're based on a credits model, all right? So based on the amount of content you create, your credits get consumed. And so so for example, let's say if you're on the $59 per month plan, you get 80,000 max words, yeah, irrespective of if it's a good output or a bad output. Okay. And that's a bit of an issue because 80,000 words can be so easy to kind of use up, right? For example, I am just a single person working and I don't even use AI that often. I just use it for AI writing assistant and I use about 70 to 80,000 words a month. And this is like 2 weeks when I was on a vacation and all of that. I'm just talking about January this year, right? And you might burn through a lot of credits while trying out different things here and there. Bulk content generation can take up a huge amount of credits, and if let's say all of the posts in the bulk content generation aren't good, you will likely have to get more credit. So then it becomes prorated based on additional credits. Your subscription cost will be the thing. So I think and that's the bit that I don't like, because I'm not fully sure what my monthly price is going to be at the end of every month, because I constantly have to keep an eye on the amount of credits, right? There's no flat price here. It's kind of like a price based on credits, which I think is a major con with Copysmith. Um, but I think overall, like in terms of the app and everything, I think it's pretty good. The content quality is great. It has all of the features, um, and probably worth considering. And I can understand why it's one of the top AI copywriting tools out there. And it also passed our plagiarism checker. All right. So what we're gonna do now is look at CopyAI, right, and see how that works, and then kind of do like a comparison between the two. All right. Now I'm logging into a CopyAI account. Um, Again, there's a bit of a difference here that was a Copysmith trial account. This is a CopyAI paid account, right? But I'm going to try to kind of keep the same limitations in place. All right. So now within CopyAI, you know, the interface is very straightforward. And personally, um, I think I like this more because it's quite straightforward, right? So what they have in here is basically, so by the way, what you see here is more like an experimental menu, but this is what it looks like. So you've got, right. So the way it looks is, you've got this particular dashboard. These are all of your projects, which you can see in like a table view or like a board kind of view, or project style view, whatever you want. And you can put these into certain folders. They're not very organized with their software in a way that like you can't like, like for example, I have like all of these untitled, copy, which is like there, and then I have to add them into a folder. Like I think they've kind of not kept that collaboration bit yet in their mind. I think they're going there, but right now it's more about like just creating every piece super quickly. They've got a lot of tools, right? So they've got tools, for product descriptions, for digital ad copy, for social media and all of that. And they've got a separate blog post wizard and they've got a freestyle editor. And I'll just kind of take you through all of them real quick, right? So if you were to kind of create, let's say, let's talk about the first thing, which is a blog post, right? So I showed you in Copysmith, right, that it was kind of like an editor kind of experience. Now, with Copy AI, the blog post wizard is essentially like a four-step process, right? So you add in, a certain thing. Let's say, for example, Copysmith versus Copy AI, you know, 8 tests to decide which is better, right? Now you can add keywords, which is very good because like if you're trying to optimize for a certain keyword, it'll do that when writing content, right? So let's say I want to create content for Copysmith versus Copy AI. Now this is the bit that I love, right? So they have these preset tones like friendly, luxury, relaxed, professional, and then you can actually put any custom tone you want, which is what makes this super powerful, right? So you can put Elon Musk, Jerry Seinfeld, you can add Shah Rukh Khan, you can add Tom Hanks, you can add Bill Gates, like whatever, right? And you can also use like certain styles like journalist, informational, helpful, motivational. I personally like to use the expert and the blogger one, right? So I'm just gonna kind of use expert. And it kind of shows, right? So I click on generate outline. Now the next step what it's gonna do is it's gonna create an outline. Now sometimes the outline is not that great. You can edit it or you can ask it to rewrite it again, right? So I'll show you that in a bit. So it created these things based on its assumptions. You can create a larger outline, you can create whatever. I'm going to click on generate all. I don't think it'll be able to generate because all of these AI copywriters are trained to like, I think December 2019 is where their data is, right? But there we go, right? So what is copy AI, what is Copysmith, how do they compare on pricing? This is more kind of like my kind of style. What I'm also going to add here is that how is the output quality of each of them, right? Now we're going to click on generate talking points. So it's going to create talking points for every outline. Okay. So it created these talking points, right? So copy as this again. This is where you need to kind of jump in and use it not as a pure AI writer, but as a writing assistant, right? So for example, I can I can either ask it to generate more, or I can ask it to uh, create the talking points again or add more talking points, right? So for example, I'm going to remove these, right? And I'm just going to add copy AI is an AI copywriting tool to help sales and marketing teams create copy fast, right? Now, when I click on generate more, it will likely use my prompt to create more, right? Now, I assume Copysmith is in, I mean, like, you can kind of get that. You can also like ask it to regenerate talking points. But my point is, if you get the right inputs in here, right, like your output will affect quite differently, right? Um, just for reference, I'm just going to kind of keep it as is and kind of give you a brief view, right? I click on generate content. Now it's going to take the outline and the talking points, and it's going to create, like your full article. And then now within the article also you'll have a lot of things that you can change here, right? Like for example, it created Copy and Copysmith are both very good, but you know there are some differences between them. Copy is much cheaper than Copysmith. They offer good customer support. Let's say you don't want this kind of introduction, or let's say you want to add more stuff to it, right? You can ask it to regenerate the content, right? So they created something. You can even add stuff in here, right? Right. Copy AI is an AI copyright. Like my point is, you can change it however you want, and it basically creates like a full article for you. 2,000 words article, 1,500 words, whatever you want, and you can ask it to keep generating more, right? So for example, this is a bit, but you wanted to write more, right? So you can click on write more and it will continue on based on whatever is the above paragraph and what is the below paragraph. And it'll keep adding on, right? So depending on how relevant the first paragraph is, your next paragraphs will kind of depend on that quality. Yeah, and that's it. And then you click on create blog post and the blog post gets created. That's the four-step blog post wizard, right? I personally like CopyAI's blog post wizard, probably better than I find it better than Copysmith's because I think it's a more simpler, easier workflow, which is actually built for long form content. So I kind of like that. Now let's talk about short form content, right? How does it operate with that, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to search for LinkedIn. Let's create LinkedIn ad copy because that's exactly what we created when we tried Copysmith. Now, they have this thing called supercharge mode, which is not available for our tools. But what supercharge does is this is actually an addition on top of AI. It will basically crawl, a certain website or something, and then get real-time data so that a lot of the content is fact-checked, which is pretty amazing. But I'll get to that in a bit, right? So let's say, for example, I want to create our early stage marketing, and the product is early stage marketing is a SaaS marketing agency that helps SaaS companies grow their revenue using content and SEO, right? Now, I love this aspect. Again, you can choose a tone. Now within this, if I'm creating LinkedIn ad, I want to be persuasive, right? So I'm going to select on persuasive, or I can even select Gary Vaynerchuk kind of tone, right? Or I can even use Noah Kagan, right? So, well, just for fun, let's just use Noah Kagan, right? And I'm going to create content. So it'll use its style, and it's actually pretty impressive, right? So you can see, right? Man, content marketing is pretty cool, isn't it? That's why an SE expert, blah, 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 started this company. For a limited time, early stage marketing is offering its comprehensive for $3 per month. No chance in hell, but whatever. Um, are you worried about onboarding new customers? Like, it can do that. And you can experiment with different types, right? Like if let's say, for example, I chose persuasive and I click on create content, it might have a very different style of output. Because I think the tone really affects, right? Getting traction, our services can help grow your revenue. We've helped, giants like this, like, I mean, this is pretty good. And what you can now, what's super interesting is like, let's say, for example, I like this one, so I'm going to take this, I'm going to put this in here, right? Now you can, you know, again, like experiment around with it, right? You can ask it to rewrite, right? So when I click on rewrite, it'll basically give you like these 4 5 versions and then you can select which one, right? You can ask it to write more, right? So if I select click on tab, it then shows me write more options, right? So like whatever, right? Like if I click on this, it'll create those different things, right? So there's a lot of interesting things that you can do within it, and then of course you can name it and then put it in a certain project or a folder. But that's how the short form copy works, right? Now I'm going to show you one more extremely unique but super interesting tool about CopyAI, which is these workflow tools, which actually take real-time data and then kind of create something for you, right? So let's say I want to recruit somebody, right? So I'm going to click on this guy, right? This is my LinkedIn profile, okay? And then I'm going to, let's say, for example, Copysmith wants to recruit me, right? So I'm going to say Copysmith is deter, sorry, second, determined to make, blogging accessible to every human in the world. Let's kind of take it at that, right? I'm going to create content. Now it's going to create an automatic recruiting outreach email. It's going to read my entire LinkedIn profile bio, and it's going to take details from in there, or it's going to take the candidate's LinkedIn profile bio and create an entire unique email and like combine it with AI to kind of get you something, which saves a lot of time. And I absolutely love this feature. This is kind of like a new thing. They've just launched it in 2023, these workflow tools that allow you to do that, right? So look at this. Um, so at Copysmith, we're looking for a head of SEO. Just FYI, if you look at my profile, I've got content marketer in here. I've got head of SEO, early stage marketing, marketing lead. I have like a full description. Where I worked at companies like Hubstaff, Bonsai, and VFlow, and it takes all of those into my thing, that, oh, I help companies grow from 500K to 5 million, which is exactly true. I help them with writing, distributing content, running email newsletters. All of this, it probably took from here, right? Like, I help them create with videos, podcasts, social media posts. I help them run newsletters, all of that, right? And it's just amazing, right? Um, and you can actually create just so many different things, right? So, for example, I want to send a LinkedIn email to the same guy, right? Let's see how it creates that. And I want to sell Copysmith to myself, and let's see how it creates that. Like, this is pretty amazing technology, and they're not just using it in these workflow tools. They actually also have a chat. What CopyAI is trying to do is they're trying to bring in fact-checked content into their AI writing. Which if you're an AI writer, you kind of know that it's a huge problem. All right, these are in beta, so sometimes they might break. This is actually the first time it broke for me, but we're gonna try this once more. Um, and you know there's a lot of different things that you can also create website copy, right? You can give like give details, and it'll kind of create like your entire copy, right? So I think something's breaking in here, but you kind of understand the tech. Like, this is what the workflow tools are, right? Now, the last thing is the custom content, right? Let's say, for example, there's no tool for something. How do I create something where there's no tool or a template available, right? So they've got this thing called freestyle mode, which I'm just going to show you. And I think while this loads, what freestyle mode does is you can basically tell it exactly what needs to be done, and it'll create an automatic template for you. Okay. So for example, I want to create a LinkedIn post, right? What you can use is copy AI templates. Okay. Now this is very unique to copy AI. You can use AI to create your own chat prompts. So let's say I want to create a LinkedIn post about an unpopular opinion. Shares an unpopular opinion. Now, what it's going to do is it's going to do uses AI writing capabilities to create a fill in the blanks kind of template for you for anything. Like, literally, you can write anything and then it'll create a prompt. And if you like a particular prompt, you can actually save it so you can reuse it again and again. Right. So it's going to show you in one bit. There we go. So what it did is it kind of created on its own, an opinion, context, evidence, and then a structure, right? And all I need to now do is I need to just replace this with, let's say, I don't know, content marketing is, or you know what? What's more fun? SEO is dead, right? Chat GPT killed it. evidence people using TikTok more than Google these days. I don't know. And then you can click on create content by choosing a tone. So you can do that, or I mean, you can use their own template generator, or you can create something on your own, right? Like, so, create a LinkedIn post, and then you can share like, SEO is dead, chat GPT is filling SEO, and then TikTok usage higher than Google, right? And then kind of create something, and then it'll create these pieces. And then if there's a particular, like for example, if you like this prompt, this structure, you can actually save it as a new custom template. So I've got, like they have these templates. So I've got these custom templates for myself, right? But I've also got these, they have their own templates for blog post wizard, or to do something fun like create a dating profile, or use their writing tool to do that, right? So the freestyle, like I absolutely love it. Like this is probably the most used feature for me right now, right? And then the last thing that they're kind of trying to do right now is basically a chatbot, and this was launched like literally last week. Kind of like ChatGPT, but very updated on like the information, right? So, for example, I asked it what is the score between India and Australia match, which happened like 2 days ago, and it gave me the exact right answer. Right? So, for example, simple question: who is the president of New Zealand? And let's see how updated this is. It's in beta again. This is in beta, so this is not the right answer. Uh, oh, okay, this is the right answer. She was elected in 2017 and served until 20 when she resigned, and then you've got these sources, right? So the chat interface is a great way to fact check something, right? So for example, if you're not sure about the, you know, the pricing for a certain product that you want to publish on your article, you can be like, what is the pricing of Copysmith, right? And click on that. Let's see what it gets. And this allows you to create content and fact check it all in one place, right? So this is 100% accurate. This is exactly what it is, right? Perfect. So it did that, and then you can basically, let's say, add this to the editor, and then use this to create anything you want, right? And they're, you know, releasing a lot of interesting things. They're releasing a bulk content editor. Like for example, um, let's say you want to create, bulk content in here. You can, run, new things, and then import and export a CSV file, very similar to the bulk content generation at Copysmith, right? But yeah, that's like it's getting there, right? So overall, like what do I like about copy, like, and what do I not like about CopyAI, right? So CopyAI, I think overall, like I generally seem to love the user interface more than Copysmith because it's just easier. There's not a lot of different modules I have to go to. It's also great for long form copywriting as well as short form copywriting. So it's, I think, great for both. It doesn't expect you to be technical, right? So for example, with Copysmith, you had to figure out how to create a custom content generator. You should know what exact prompts to use to get the right kind of copy. But copy actually helps you by figuring out those prompts, like by creating those prompts using that template generator, right? And then again with Copysmith, the content might come out outdated, but with CopyAI, they're trying to bring in fact checking within their content, right? So I liked CopyAI that way. I think, and then the last thing that I completely forgot to mention was that CopyAI has a flat pricing, which I absolutely, absolutely love. It's not based on credits. It used to be based on credits, but now, as far as I remember, it's $49 per month for unlimited credits. Okay. So, if in here, if I select monthly, it's $49 per month for unlimited words, 5 user seats, all of that, like all of the new features, right? This bit I absolutely love about, because you're pretty sure that your price is going to remain flat. What's even better is if you use my coupon code, right? If you use my link, you can basically get a 40% discount. So if you, let's say, take the yearly plan, which makes sense because you get 3 additional months, um, and you get 40% off on this. Copy actually costs just $21 a month for unlimited words and 5 users seats included. So I think it's a steal. These are kind of like the good things about CopyAI. Where CopyAI fails is, or not fails, but like the things where I think it can improve on. I think the first is it needs to improve the number of integrations, right? Like right now, there's no integration with SEMrush or an optimization tool or with, I don't know, Google Docs or WordPress. It doesn't have any of that. I think it has an integration with Zapier. I'm not sure. I haven't seen that much in here. I don't think there is any integration with Zapier as well, right? So they need to integrate with apps. I personally don't find it a big deal because I kind of can create the content in here and then just copy it into my WordPress or copy it to my LinkedIn post and everything, and I think that's fine with me, right? And then it doesn't have a built-in plagiarism checker, right? Which I think would be a nice to have, right? Like, I mean, it'd be great while I'm writing content, if it's checked for plagiarism in AI, right? But I don't want to complain. Like, I think the pricing is great, and the other features, like, they're not getting distracted by adding more features. They're kind of keeping the interface simple, and they're focusing on the right things, like fact checking, making sure the content quality is good, helping you write great prompts. And the thing with copy AI is that it'll create outstanding copy, but it depends on the kind of inputs you give, and they give all of the tools to help you create those good inputs, right? So copy is very input heavy, like dependent on how you give the instructions, the content quality can be better than like, or equally good as human writers. With Copysmith, you don't have a lot of input options, right? So you kind of have to, use whatever they have and then get out the output, right? So sometimes it'll be good, sometimes it'll be bad, but you don't have a lot of customization or output control on it. So final thoughts with Copysmith. I think Copysmith is a great tool if you're a team, especially e-commerce or enterprise, that, if you're a team of like more than 10 people, that requires a lot of collaboration, adding it into your existing tool set, you creating a shit ton of content. If that is the case and the content quality can go down a little bit, right? Then I think Copysmith is for you. But if you're, let's say, a solo creator, or if you're a team of five, running a blog or whatever, or you're running an ad agency, Copy AI is a better option. If you're somebody who's very particular about creating great content and likes to give good amount of inputs, then Copy AI is great. If you're somebody who wants to, like, if you're somebody from a writing background that just wants to create outstanding copy, I think Copy AI is better for that, and definitely better for like smaller teams and individuals. So I think that's my assessment between Copy and Copysmith. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, right, what I would recommend is to buy CopyAI using my link below. It's an affiliate link, but it will not cost you anything. It'll just help support creating more of these videos and blog posts to help you decide which tool is better to use, right? And if you use my link, like I said, you'll get a 40% discount. So effectively, CopyAI, if you take the annual plan, will come out to be about $21 per month, um, which I think is a steal, right? That's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this video is helpful. I know this video is long, but I just wanted to cover every aspect of Copysmith versus CopyAI. All right. Have a great day, and subscribe to my channel if you enjoy the content. Take care.